Most humanoids have the potential to be irrational. Perhaps you should attempt to access that part of your psyche.
Okay, we are back and we're going to do um another bracelet. This one is going to be more of a jewelry style. So, my wife's favorite type of gold is rose gold. So, I have this clasp here for her and it's metal. Really nice clasp. And then I have these beads here and I picked them up. I think they're only about $7 or something. I picked them up at Hobby Lobby. So if you look at them, there are multiple different colors. There's orange and yellow and green and kind of a reddy color. Um, they may even change colors depending on which direction you look at them. I'm not sure, but they look really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bracelet with these beads on them, and we'll see how that works out. So um, I wanted to do a neutral color because Um, these are going to provide plenty of color. I could have gone with something like this. And actually, I think this is so bright that it would have kind of um, diminished what these beads would do as far as color goes. And so, um, it's kind of interesting. Every time the bead shines, it kind of dims the phone, dims the camera a little bit. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this color here, and it's I like a gray would have been really good, and this is the closest thing I have. So we're gonna do this. Now, this one's gonna be free-handed because I don't know the best way of doing it on a jig. So we're gonna do it free-handed, and that could be a problem, but we'll see how it goes. Another issue is I don't know the best way to finish it off is going to be. So that's going to be an experiment in and of itself. So first thing we gotta do, find the end, start pulling some of this out, and we're gonna need a fair amount. Um, I'm gonna say probably, I'm gonna go with 6 foot. That's probably gonna be too much, but the problem is I just don't know. So I'm gonna use my thing here, and again it's 18 inches. So I'm gonna do, there's 3 foot. I'm gonna do four of these, 4 foot, and 6 foot. We'll just give an inch to for safety's sake. We'll seal the end off there, and I'll wrap that up later. Get the end sealed off here. Okay, here we go. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to find the center point. We don't need these scissors anymore. Get those bad boys out of the road. So to find the center point, really simple. We're just going to put the ends together, and we're just going to pull this through our hands like this, and this is also going to help us make sure there's no twists. So as we can see, we already have a twist, but here's our center point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that center point and I'm going to pull it back through just to work out all the twists the other direction. And worked out well because there's our two ends side by side, so we maintained our center point. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do just a simple hitch here, and this hitch is going to just hook onto the end of our bracelet. Now one end's going to have a hitch. I don't know how we'll end up doing the other end, but the hitch is the simplest way to get started. It's the most secure. That way I don't have to worry about this end flopping around. Now um, this is going to be a knot that I haven't done yet. So I get to show you a new knot, so that's good. So this one's a fairly simple knot, and I've seen some people call it like the snake knot or something like that, and you won't really be able to see the pattern with this. Maybe I'll do a sample with something else where you might be able to see the pattern just so you can get an idea of what that pattern looks like. But this one, so reason why I chose this knot is because um, it's going to be narrow enough for these beads to fit on, and each knot will secure the bead in place. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to take our left side, it's going to go over the right and then back around. So we're going to have this loop here, okay? And then we'll have this out. Now this one is going to come under and then through the hole. So we'll just go under and through the hole. And what this is going to do, this is going to create a symmetrical knot. So the knot will, by symmetrical I mean it's going to look the same on the front and the back. Okay, so we just kind of pull it tight. And what I mean is, and like I said, you can't see it, they come to a V here, and if you flip it over, they're going to come to a V on the back side as well. So now the first one doesn't really matter per se, because as far as what it looks like on the back side, because of where the hitch is, because that's going to be on the bottom side of your wrist, so you're not going to notice anyway. But we want them to be pretty consistent as we go down the bracelet, because um, you know, it will start looking a little bit odd. So we're just going to be, so again, we go around with the left and make a loop, right? And then we go underneath with the right and then back through that loop and pull everything through. And then we just tighten the knot up to the next one. So we're going to do several of these um, until we get to where we're going to be putting those beads on. So what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing the paracord with my fingers here and using my thumb and my forefinger to push that knot up and trying to keep them symmetrical. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but just trying to keep them symmetrical, keeping those V's in the same spot and whatnot. So, and we can see the back there. Everything's still looking good. Things we'll definitely want to keep in mind. See, right now, keep my tape measure over here. Right now, we're already looking at um, a little over 2 inches, as far as about 2.5 inches long, as far as total bracelet length. So we're not going to be going too much farther before we put a bead on. Maybe another knot or two. And then what I'm thinking is I might do a knot, maybe a knot or two in between each bead. Now one of the things I've noticed with this weave, this knot, is it does have a tendency to kind of roll on you. So yeah, see, just using my wrist as a judgment here. So I kind of want to make sure that all the beads are on the top. So we'll do another knot or two. Now granted, like I said, my wrist's a little bit bigger, but I would imagine if it was my wife, it'd be more like that. So doing one more knot, and then we'll put a bead on. So one of the reasons why I chose this knot to do this bracelet is, and you'll see this when I do the bead, is like I said, the fact that the knots themselves will secure the bead in place, but also the beads are only so big around, as you can see. And I did a quick experiment on um, how many uh, how many paracord I could fit through there, and I could get 4 pieces of paracord through the bead if I tried really, really hard. And I didn't want to try that hard, so um, I like to do these in a way that everybody can do them, right? I want to show off bracelets that anybody can do. You don't have to have anything special. Okay, there's our first bead. Okay, now we gotta do our knot. I don't want you to have anything special if you guys want to do this. I mean, if you have to buy the clasp, like I said, you can buy these clasps at Hobby Lobby or maybe Michael's. I don't know. You can order them online. All kinds of things like that. So, for some reason, I think I screwed this knot up. I did. Maybe not. I just not want to pull through very well. I did. I was supposed to go left over right, and I went right. I went under. So left over right. Left over right. Just like tying my boots in the army. Left over right. Whenever you lace them. Then right under left and then through the loop. So when you do that, it creates its own loop, right? So that's how it stays symmetrical. Gotta keep that symmetry going. Okay, there we go. There's our first bead. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, check our length again because I need to be very, very conscious of this length. So we're already getting close to 4 inches. So what I'm probably gonna have to do is, and this might be an experiment anyway, I didn't do a trial run, so what I may have to do is do a knot and then a bead, a knot and then a bead, just to make sure that I get them all in there, because the bead takes up at least as much space as a knot does, right? So we don't want to run out of space, because otherwise, what'll happen? I'll be undoing this and maybe taking a knot out up here or something like that. So we don't want that. Okay. What is going on here? How did I mess this up? All right, all of you guys there playing at home, let me know how I screwed that up. Okay, so left over right, make our loop. This goes down, then right under left through the loop. I'll pull that one tight, this one tight. Okay, let's work these up. There we go. There we go. Cruising right along. There we go. We got all the beads on, and as I suspected, it's proven very difficult to keep these knots symmetrical. Okay. Where's our length at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 knots on that side. And we're at 6.5. So let's see if we can do 7 knots. I don't think we're going to be able to. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to. Let's just see. See what happens. We'll do maybe, see what happens if we do like 4 four. We already got one, so we only need. Um, we'll try 3 more, and just to get our length, and then if I have to, I'll go back and correct it. So as you can see, doing these knots against another knot is much easier than doing it against the beads. Let's just get an idea of where we are. So put that middle of my wrist. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So 7 and 7. Now, trying to figure out how to do this. This is going to be an experiment that we can all share. Maybe I don't go through the top, or through the bottom. Let's go through the top. And we'll tie whatever knot on the bottom, or no, on the top. Get through there. Okay, so now I could do a Solomon knot. And the thing about the Solomon knot is it holds really well regardless. So let's do a Solomon knot here. Loop here. Okay, so Solomon knot, that's the same knot that we've been doing this whole time on all the other bracelets. But it's easy to tie off, and it makes for a nice secure little thing. Okay. And before I cut these ends and all that kind of stuff, try to get this off to the side. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to. I'll just have to burn it down into there. It's getting tight though. Okay. So I think I've showed you this before. If you've got your bracelet open like this, and you want to measure the length, so you measure from this end right here where the buckles come together to this other end. Okay. If we stretch this out, it's going to be a little bit longer than 8 inches. I think that's going to be good. Yep, I think that's going to work out well for her. So, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of like this. Now, the real question is whether my wife will like it. I'll have to let you guys know if she does. So, um, now I also have these beads here, and we have a white, and then like just a regular kind of silvery diamond, and then a black, and then another white, and then the silver and the black. So, a similar bracelet could be done with, especially with this cord, could be done with that, and I probably will make another bracelet similar to that. Like I said, my wife likes to accessorize with her bracelets, so might make another nice little gift for her. But if I do, I think I'll use this clasp on that one, because it'll match that a lot better. I think because it's more of a black, gunmetal gray type of thing. So I think that'll work well. So there you go. Let's finish this off real quick, and we'll end this up. So to finish it off, we'll cut this one, There's 1 and 2, and get our melt on. Get your freak on. Let's melt this before it tries to pull through. Anybody remember Missy Elliott? Get your freak on. Get your freak on. There you go. Boy, I have to tell you, in comparison, this is a much heavier bracelet. So I will let you guys know what my wife thinks of this one. I'm sure she'll like it. Um, but you never know. Sometimes it's just what people think. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. And let's just have a quick look. How much paracord did we have left over? So we're looking at 3, 6, 8, 8.5 inches. And ooh, this one's 3, 3, 6, 9, almost 11 inches. So we have about 20 inches left there, pretty close to it anyway. So didn't quite need the 6 foot. It's kind of nice having the extra. I mean, if you're only dealing with a couple inches at the end, trust me, it's very difficult to tie those knots and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys like this, and let me know what you think. This is not your typical paracord bracelet. It's more of a jewelry piece, and I thought some of you guys might like that out there. Guys, if you want to give your lady something that you've made, something that looks nice, something that she can kind of show off a little bit. Now, granted, these are not all that valuable, but if you went to Jared, you could get some, spend some real money on it, and maybe even get a real gold clasp. So there you go. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
I don't want to leave this place. It's so fluffy.
Thank you for your cooperation.